station, and then it's going sort of east, and I think it will then start to head out into the Pacific Ocean fairly soon. I'm not sure where Jilin is exactly, but that looks like there's some ocean or cloud there. Um, but yes. Oh, we're even getting country information from them today. We just had life expectancy in China from the space station. But anyways, that there is the live view, and it takes 90 minutes for the space station to go around the planet. And our classes are about 90 minutes. So I like that kind of connection. We're going to go around the planet, mentally speaking. We're going to go around the story of humanity and around our future. Okay, everybody, welcome to the global classroom for humanity's destiny. Some of the faces I see, I recognize, one or two, but other than that, I have to say I am super proud and excited that so many have come in person for this class. And you do not have to be here. If you read the announcement on DC Connect, which I'm assuming you did, you have probably already begun to sense that we're talking about a pretty flexible space, a flexible class. And so you are in humanity's destiny. You're in the right place. I am your professor, Lon Appleby, and I am going to be your coach, your guide, your navigator, and your educator through this 14-week journey through time, space, the human imagination, and everything we maybe don't want to happen about our future. This is all about humanity's destiny. You're in the right place. And so what I'm going to do first is just close the final door so we can kind of take off and get into orbit without anything breaking, like that plane that you probably have already seen replayed a zillion and one times online that had its door blown off. The Boeing jet, was it? That just had its door blown off in flight last couple of days. Did anybody see that? Whoa. Imagine being on a plane, thousands of kilometers in the air, and you're sitting not right next to the door or window. No, it was the door, but close, and it just suddenly the bolts give way, and before you know it, there's a wide open space, and all you see is just what's down below the plane, and the air is blowing in, and your worst nightmares come true. The plane has a hole in it, and you might get sucked out. That just happened. And so I have to shut that door so we're sealed in and nothing breaks. And when we take off, when we go into orbit, nobody's going to fly out of a broken door. Okay? That's where I was going with that. So listen, humanity's destiny is what you're here to explore. And what I want to do today is introduce you to this class, introduce you to this space, helping to understand why you've chosen to take this course as an elective. And there's a lot about being in this space that is going to be different for you as an educational experience. And that's intended. And so I want to make sure you understand what to expect over the next weeks. And I want to give you a chance as well to meet each other and tell me afterwards, after your conversation together, what you want from this class, what you really want to achieve in this class. And then we will finish up, and essentially by 2:45, we'll be able to bring this spacecraft back down to Earth, and you will leave the class or the spacecraft 15 minutes early generally. It won't be 3 o'clock when we end, it'll be 2:45, but we won't have an official break. So essentially, we'll have maybe a little bit of stretching at some point, but we'll keep this going right up until 2:45, and then you're done, okay? So, let me talk a little bit more about what you expect and what you're seeing around you, because all of this is new. First of all, this is the global classroom, and as such, we are creating at the college what we hope will be, a model for the classroom of the future. In fact, you may hear me talk quite a bit about the World Expo in Osaka, Japan in 2025, which is the premier showcase of new science and technology and engineering for humanity. It's held every couple of years in a different country, goes all the way back to the late 1800s when Nikola Tesla was creating or thinking about wireless technology, and the Eiffel Tower was built, and there were all these new kinds of ideas around science and tech. It's like the Olympics of science and technology. Countries have pavilions there, and we're going to be presenting there. We're going to be doing a big presentation there in 2025 about the global classroom. So, what we are doing in this space with all of you is not a small thing. We are, through your feedback constantly that we're getting, trying to create a model for what a classroom can be for the future that really shows that education understands how to use technology in a way that is dynamic and interesting. So that's why we have 3 different kinds of audiences for this class. You can come in person. You're absolutely welcome to do that, and you've chosen to do that today. But you can be online, like there are right now. Yasmin and George and Yanni and Eldon are live on our video conferencing system. It's Toria. It's not Zoom. It's a Canadian system that we're building that has military grade encryption technology, so that when you come into this, you can't be hacked, you can't be spied on, you can't. You have privacy in this space. So we have very good technology that we're using. So they're live with us, and Yasmin, George, and Eldon, and yeah, Vani can, if they want, they can join us in the live chat. They can jump on their microphones, and if they really are ready, they can show us their faces. But we can have people coming from anywhere, anytime, live. Then there's the YouTube bunch. We're live on YouTube. We do that partly because of YouTube allows us to connect with everybody, but also that's where I do the recordings of the class. I use the back end of YouTube Studio. So the recording of this class, which is in 1080p high def, gets posted, pretty well 2 or 3 hours after the class on DC Connect, along with all the other resources. So this is a class, a multimedia live class for humanity. But the real engine of it is this. So we have all this tech. We have everybody that can join. We've got all sorts of things we can do. But the real power of this class is going to be what happens in person with us, and it's going to be the conversations. So I want you to know that if you are ready for a really good interaction with people, you're always going to get that here. But if you feel one week you don't want that, you just want to be online, or you're on a bus somewhere, or you're, having lunch, I don't know, you can join from anywhere if you want. But I'm always going to be encouraging you to come in person, because this is the real great stuff. No matter how sophisticated human technology gets, and it's getting very, very sophisticated fast. This is just my view. We will never be able to replace the beauty and the brilliance of the human mind and human beings interacting with each other in flesh and blood. There's another reason why I encourage you so much to come in person, but it's your choice. We just got through a pandemic. For other reasons too, I worry that humans are losing their ability, or they're not fully practicing their ability to be with each other anymore. And everything tends to get mediated through technology now. think we need to practice our skills at being together and talking old style and recognizing that it's the human first that matters, then the tech comes in, not the other way around. I will never tell you this semester to not bring your machines into the class. I know we need them. So you can have your laptop here, you can have it open, you're doing whatever you like with your phones, no problem. I'm only going to ask you to reflect on the idea of if you need to have your machine with you all the time, and if you need to be interacting with other human beings all the time through your machine, what does that tell you about you and us? Does that not concern you? You will never hear me bash AI or anything about our machines. They're amazing where we've come in a short period of time. But do we really want to be talking to each other constantly through our machines? Then what happens to humanity? And I don't just mean humanity as in mankind or humankind. I mean humanity as in empathy, sympathy, brotherhood, love. Where does that all go if we can't talk to each other anymore? So that's why I hope you will come. And that's why I'm so happy to see you on your own. You've chosen to come. You've paid for your bus fare, your gas. I don't know, driven here. You could have easily been at home. So welcome in person, but you have lots of choices. Okay, great. So I want to walk you through some more. There's a lot to tell you about this semester, but before I talk too much, let me give you a chance to tell me anything you'd like to tell me, and you'll also see how things are going to work. So essentially, I'll just say one thing and then we'll start some conversation. There will be no PowerPoints this semester. There will be live PowerPoint, if you will. We're going to create our slides together up here. So, for example, here I go. I'm now talking too much, but you'll see how this works, okay? Just watch for a second, okay? So this is the smartboard. Now, this smartboard can be moved like this. And let's say we'll call this, I don't know, slide number 1. Okay? And generally, I won't be writing up here. Somebody will be from the class. Will be writing up here, okay? Things that we learn together from our conversation with me guiding you. That's how you're going to get the critical information live like that. Okay? You'll see how that works. And for the online group, this is what we can do just to make it really cool and use the camera. When we go over there, I can kind of just do this. So who is ever over there could be talking to that camera there and taking notes. And Yasmin online could be saying, could you please write that down over there? And she sees you there. And yeah, Lon, could you just come back to the class? And well, there we are. So we're trying to use the camera. We're trying to use technology in a way that makes everybody feel included, whether they're here or there or anywhere. Does it kind of make sense? Okay, hold on. I'm watching some faces to make sure. It's also kind of, we're going to be hitting afternoon doldrums soon and people will start to nod off. So I got to make sure everybody's clear. Okay, so first thing, does anybody have anything they'd like to ask or say at this very early juncture in this class where you've just walked into this space? You haven't met anybody here. You're getting to know me a little bit, and I'm showing you all this stuff. So you may wonder what is going on. But would you like to say something? Ask anything? You don't have to. Okay, fair enough. Let's see online for Eldon. We have an engaged brain out there. Eldon said, I like the concept of this format. Is there anything comparable to this class elsewhere? Eldon, this is a great question. I'm going to try to give you the honest answer, and I'm going to try not to hype anything up. No, Elgin, there is nothing like this anywhere in the world right now, and we are inventing it out of Durham College. And I know that more or less for a fact because people write to me and email me, and I go and speak at conferences. And because, well, students keep saying here that this is really interesting. They've never seen anything like it. But I have a vested interest in promoting this. So, Eldon, is that a fair answer? Or is it kind of answering at least some of your question? Let's see. We'll go live chat. Oh, good. So here is where I'm going to make Eldon a little uncomfortable just for the moment. Just to keep this in real time, Eldon, is it possible we can hear you? But we don't have to. You may not want to. Do we need
Yeah,
to?
for sure.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So now we get this in real time. Excellent. So, Eldon, could you please ask the second question?
Yeah, so I was wondering if there was any difference between like the format of this class and a hybrid format class. So,
Well,
the concept being where people can be involved online and in person.
great question. Well, first of all, I would say to you, Eldon, and to all of you, that terminology today is constantly evolving with what's hybrid, what's flex, what's super flex, because everything is being kind of reinvented. So when you say hybrid, I just want to make sure I understand what you mean, and then I'll answer it. Can you just define that, Eldon, please?
Yeah, so the way that I'm understanding hybrid is a class where the format is like people can be involved in person and online.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. So, um, do you feel that you are a little bit involved now in the class, Eldon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but here's the difference. Eldon, when you look at your screen right now, do you see a whole bunch of Zoom windows with talking heads or sleepy heads and everybody's still? Or do you see yourself in a room with human beings who are all sitting kind of together? What do you see?
Yeah, I guess the second one.
Exactly. Watch this. Okay, so Eldon, let's have a little bit of fun. Eldon, could you tell me, and we'll get a little more intimate here, Eldon? Whoops. Hi, Eldon. I'm over here now.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah. Generally speaking, it won't be me here. It will be one of the students. Eldon, um, are you starting to feel that this experience is a little bit different than a Zoom call? A little bit?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
like
a little
you feel
bit.
it a little bit. Okay, good. Do you see a full smartboard in front of you in high definition?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think the difference I'm seeing is this is more like you're still in class and involved rather than the professor being like at their, desk at a computer doing all the work
Yeah.
there.
So we no. Eldon, no, no, no. I, Eldon, am in a classroom right now. Do you sort of feel that you've been kind of drawn into a classroom, Eldon?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And this classroom that you've entered, is the technology breaking down out of sync, or is it pretty clean and fluid with a big board that almost looks like a movie screen and people are sitting on couches and sort of like a lounge, but it's not, it's a classroom. You sort of get a bit of that feeling?
Yeah, I'm not a big tech guy, but yeah, it
Okay.
does look like that.
And are you telling me what you think I want to hear? Or are you actually telling me what you believe?
Yeah, I do believe that.
Really? Promise?
Promise.
Okay. And there are no marks right now that I'm giving out for that, for that amazing answer. Okay, good. Thanks, Eldon. And thank you for
No
engaging and
problem.
using your microphone. Terrific, okay? Well, are you starting to get a feeling for how this class is going to work? Excellent, excellent. Good. It's really important that you do. Yes. Would you mind coming up and sitting here? Yeah, you don't have to, but just so that Eldon can see you. And just, now we become kind of like a talk show. Oh, yeah, but that's good. Okay. Are you okay sitting there? What's your name? Kiara. Okay. Kiara, this microphone, to turn it on, just go here, and turn it off, go here, okay? When you talk into it, hold it like it's karaoke, close, so that Eldon can hear you clearly, and it will sound like sort of FM podcast or something, not like remote voice in a distance, but Eldon will feel close to you. That's the point, okay? Great. Okay, so Kiara, can you just turn the microphone on? Make sure is it on? Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Yeah. Thank you for coming up.
Hi.
Sitting. Do you have any questions?
Yes. My first question was, as far as you know, do you know if any other class is allowed to do something like this?
As far as I know, no, because I've been building this for about 11 or 12 years at the college with faculty and students, and this space called the Global Classroom is something I helped to build with the college when this Center for Collaborative Education was built. So it's something that my heart and soul is in.
Okay, so to get to know you a little bit, how long have you been working in this field?
I've been teaching at the college for about 14 years, and what I teach out of this classroom are 3 general education electives, all loosely kind of connected into what's called the story of humanity, the human story, which is who are we? That's the global leader class. It's about what's happening in the world today. Where do we come from? Is short history of the world, and where are we going? That's humanity's destiny. I teach the human story on planet Earth at a time when we human beings need to be understanding our shared human story. Otherwise, there won't be human beings anymore, or some version of us. Yes.
And when and why did you become so infatuated or enthralled in this topic?
It's great questions. Thank you. And I'm glad I can. Before I came into this, I had a long career in journalism and television and film. Um, I've always been interested in media. When I was 16 or 17 years old, this is going back about 40 years, I was the kid reporter at City TV in the early days. And then I started to produce documentaries for CBC and had my own production company and wrote articles for magazines and newspapers, and I traveled a lot. But I was always building up a very big library at home and reading constantly about humanity and human history, and was beginning to feel that there's a story that we need to be telling more today, and it's not being told. And I want to do it in education because I think the media world is just a little too shallow for my taste. I like the classroom where we can go deeper. And I thought over time, I started teaching here, that maybe the college would want to go there with me, and they have been completely. And our president, who's unfortunately retiring this year, Don Lavisa, has been an amazing supporter of this and helped to build this center $50 million center. He had something like 55 meetings with different levels of government to get this built. And essentially, in the end, there's a recognition, Kiera, more and more from what I'm hearing from students, that they want something new in education because they don't feel fully prepared for a very complex global world. And so that's what started to really get me committed to this, is ultimately it's students saying they like this format, they want to interact more, and they want to feel that education is actually getting ahead of them, not always trying to catch up. Something like that.
Perfect. Thank you. And that was all my questions. Well, I just want to tell you that I personally came here to learn something new. And so I can't wait to be in this class and learn with everyone here. So thank you very much.
Lovely. Well, stay for a second, okay? We're going to write some things. Say we're starting already, okay? Today, by the way, is when I learn from you what your expectations are, what you want to learn. I have learned over time as an educator to be very spontaneous. I have a lot of experience now. So I can bring many different techniques to the class. And I can switch things when I feel the energy is going in a certain direction. Right now, because a student has come up here and has been courageous and is starting to ask questions, I feel that I can shift the part of expectations from you that I was planning to do a little later, and I'm going to do it now. Because I'm going to seize this moment. We have a good moment happening, I feel. Which means we need to get somebody over on the board to start making some notes. And we're going to make a list of what you would like to learn, what your expectations are, and we're going to go around the class a little bit. And we're going to do it that way. But we're going to do it from Kiera, starting this off, because we have a good student in the chair who is comfortable. It's great. So next question is, does anybody here really like to write? They really enjoy the act of taking, little symbols called the letters of the alphabet and putting them into words and sentences and writing them on something that you can see in front of you. And you actually write it. Do any of you like that? Do any of you like to read? Like, you like to read sentences? You like sentences? You like language? Who likes language? Like language used well. Excellent. Okay, good. That's a start. What's your name? Ethan. Thank you, Ethan. How do you spell that? Sagar. 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 Okay, great. How is your written English? As good as your spoken English, or intermediate? Ethan, pretty good? So? Okay, to help you then, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put a little skin in the game myself. I'm going over to the notes right now. I'm going to keep the camera on everybody here so that Kiera is going to actually kind of lead this for now. And I'm going to put expectations. So, what is written here will be available as a PDF for you after the class. This is your PowerPoint slide. Here, presentation, done live, fresh out of the oven, every class. Okay? And it comes out of our conversation. So here we go. Kiera, could you start by telling us one critical thing you would like to learn in Humanities Destiny this semester?
One critical thing that I think I'd like to know is typically just where humanity is heading with technology and society in general, mostly society, and where we're going.
Where is technology taking us? Is that fair, Kiera?
Yes, and also society.
Taking us. So us would be, let's say, we'll say individuals and society. So us is, it's pregnant with meaning. And just to give credit where credit's due, from Kiera. K, I'm going to do this off the top of my head. You correct me if I'm wrong. K-I-E-R-R-A.
Remove one of the R's and switch the E and the I. K-E-I-R-A.
Yeah. You see this brain of mine? Beautiful. Okay, we're going to keep going for a little bit, all right? And you'll see how we've started the class. We've really started the class. Every class is going to have a series of notes that we make together built out of our conversation. And in the conversation, I'm going to teach you. So I'm not going to stand in front of you and deliver a PowerPoint and you take some notes maybe, or you look at the PowerPoint later. We're going to create the knowledge together, guided by me, so it's very current. I will have an idea of what I want to teach you each class, but we're going to interact together and it will come out of that. Does that make sense? Kind of understand the idea with that? Okay. So today I came in thinking, I want to hear what your expectations are. That's critical. I can tell you more about what you can expect from me, from what I want to tell you, but I need to hear from you. That's really, really important. Would you please stay there for a second? Because it's becoming more your class, Kiara, not mine. Okay, if I can disappear and empower you to take the class on, then potentially you become a motivated learner. And do you know how complex the world is today, and how messed up it is, and how much conflict there is, and how many problems there are to solve? Do you know how you have to be learning all the time? That learning here in this institution is just the start. And I don't care whether you're studying to be a nurse working in the ER, or whether you're planning a career in sports administration, or graphic design, or police foundations, or firefighting, or you're going to become a scholar and go on to university. If you are not a lifelong learner today, you get left behind. Problems don't get solved. So you need to be able to learn well on your own. So maybe I can help inspire that too. And we will have a better destiny. Knowledge is our destiny. This is what a great thinker once said. I will tell you more about Jacob Bronowski, the 20th century. Knowledge is our destiny. Think about that. Okay, let me go back. And now, just to give the onliners, Yasmin, George, and all those watching the recording, I'm going to do this, okay? You're going to hear Kiara. You're going to see me. But maybe I can train Ethan on the fly. Ethan, would you come over and join me for a second? Yeah. Very good. Here comes Ethan, everybody. Just wait. He's going to join me, and he's much taller than I am. So, wow. Yes, this is true. This is true. We may have to adjust the camera. This is a big guy. You come over here. Okay, great. So one of the students in a previous class said about what we're doing here that he really likes how we use the camera in this room, that it helps to motivate learning. So I thought that was great. I'm trying to use this more. So, okay, could you try writing the next point, okay? Just wait for it, okay? And all you have to do is when you write, you just go like this, and then when you want to erase, you go like that, okay? So take it slowly, okay? Good. So we've got Ethan. Good, because basically every class is going to have something like this. There's going to be a student up here, there's going to be a student there, there's going to be students out there, and kind of like that. Okay, I'm going to help you. You keep the microphone, sorry. I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult for students. Just kind of torque it up a little bit just to get some energy going. And I'm going to put the microphone in your face. So what would you like to, and it's on. It's on. Is it okay? Yeah.
Sure.
Right there. Okay. Karaoke. Okay. What's your name?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay. Ethan, would you just please write down Brooklyn and would you spell it for Ethan, please?
Sure. BROOKLYN.
Okay. Not bad. Good. Okay. We see it, Brooklyn. Brooklyn, what would you really like to learn this semester? We know from Kiara, we want to deal with this question, where is technology taking us as individuals and society? So, Brooklyn, what do you want? Mhm.
I don't really know.
Okay, it's okay. You want to think. Could you write down for now? Brooklyn wants to think. I love thinking. As a matter of fact, all of your assignments, all of the assessment this semester will be done through your thinking. You will not be doing any quizzes or exams. You're going to be doing reflections all the way through, writing and making videos where you reflect on the content. So being able to think, Brooklyn, and process what happens here is really important. You're not being tested on little bits of information. You're being assessed on how you process all the big ideas and how you express that back, whether it's orally, but ultimately through your writing. Writing is really important in this class. It's a very important skill to have as a human being. Okay, so you can keep thinking. Please hand the microphone to the next student.
Close
Yes.
to hold it.
Yeah, what's your name?
Sarah.
Sarah, can we?
With an H.
Sarah with an H. Okay, is it with an E like in there? Well, there's I've heard SERAH.
No, regular Sarah, just with an H.
Third one, you got it. Yeah, we got our third is Sarah, our Sarah Point. Okay, we've got Kiara going. We have Brooklyn going. Something's cooking in Brooklyn's brain. And now we come to Sarah.
Yes.
What would you like to see?
Well, I'd like to know how our actions will affect the future, like our destiny, What are we doing now for the future?
How will our actions now affect the future? Good question, Sarah.
Thank you.
I can answer part of that. How will our actions now affect the future? And it's with an H, right?
With an
Yeah.
H, yes.
Sarah with an H. Yeah. Okay.
Come on,
okay.
Ethan.
I spend a lot of time thinking about how you learn and what you learn. I know for a fact that from studies that have been done that students often don't remember a lot of what's said by the educator. They remember how he said it or she said it. And they remember something about the educator too as they're looking at him or her. I like to think that when I come into this class, Sarah, I want to be on my toes. I want to teach off my toes. And the reason I do that, the reason I want my memory to be stronger, is because I want you to be that way too. I think the world demands that today. We need to be quick thinkers, fast thinkers. We need to use our memories more, not to constantly be going to our machines to do the thinking for us. To do that means that you are more prepared for the world. So part of all of this, Sarah, is I want you to watch me and how I do things because maybe I'm a mirror of what you could be or want to be. And also because I love creativity and I can see Sarah is already in this class. She's drawing. This is good. This is, I like that because it means her imagination is at work. How our actions now will affect our future has a lot to do with how we approach our problems now, Sarah, and that requires what happens in our imaginations. It requires courage. It requires perseverance. And I would say that these three qualities are very important this semester as we start to look at what's going to happen. Is the more imagination we have, the more courage we have, and the more perseverance we have, the more our actions now will create a better future. And we all want a better future, don't we? The question is, what is that better future? What does it look like? You will think about that. Imagination, courage, perseverance. We need a lot of that now so that later it will be better. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Start
I
to
love
understand? Yeah, it's very, and just to give credit where credit's due, imagination, courage, and perseverance is actually something I learned from the back of a bench many years ago. Someone wrote these beautiful words down just outside University of Toronto, where I was living at the time. And there was a bench there, and someone wrote those three words in that order. And I think that was just beautiful. Imagination, courage, and perseverance. You think about those three things and how important they are, and you'll start to understand about what we need. Great. So we have, I think, enough for now. We want to come back to Brooklyn to see if Brooklyn baked something in her imagination or the oven just needs a repair. But every human being is capable of using their mind in a more expansive way if you just let yourself go there. Open your imagination. So let's finally get something for Brooklyn, and then we'll move on, okay? Brooklyn, we have Kiera, we have Sarah, we have Ethan there on the board. He's ready to get this down. Can you maybe even a word or two of what you want to learn?
No.
We have to help Brooklyn. We do. She may be tired, like some of you are. Fair enough. So I'm going to help. We all will. If this gets uncomfortable, tell me, but I promise it won't. But if you feel like you're being singled out, I don't want you to feel that way. This should be something where you appreciated the connection we had, okay? Brooklyn, what program are you in?
Graphic design.
Brooklyn is in graphic design, okay. What do you think Brooklyn might want to be considering in terms of a critical question that she could answer this semester that relates to her as a creative person, graphic design, who, well, ... I won't say anything more. What do you think Brooklyn would want to know? A question. How old are you, Brooklyn?
18.
18. 18-year-old graphic design student. Okay. Brooklyn, do you have any dreams of what you would like to be in this world when you graduate?
A package designer.
A package designer. Okay. Do you want to succeed at that?
Yeah.
Okay. So 18-year-old, not even out of her teens. She's in a creative field. She wants to succeed in package design. Now, what problems might Brooklyn face in her life? Being a human being, part of humanity's destiny. There's Brooklyn and her future. But then there's the world that Brooklyn is going to be entering into over the next 70, 80, 90 years. Let's say you live to 100. A lot of people are now through medical science. So Brooklyn has not been out of school yet, has she? She's going to enter a world. When she graduates, her graphic design diploma, she wants to start working. What would you say is the most important thing for you as you look ahead, Brooklyn, at at your life? Because we're going to be doing a lot of that, imagining the future for humanity and yourself. But you look ahead, what would you say is like really important to you to do in this life of yours? Working with clients in person. Okay. What's one problem that Brooklyn may face in the world today that she needs to be aware of? And we can phrase this in a question. Let's try, okay? We want to get it in some form so that we can help Brooklyn know what she wants to learn this semester in this course that is relevant to Brooklyn. But also about the world and about the future. Sarah?
Never mind, you lost me a bit. You were saying.
Try
You were
again.
saying.
You seem to have something, and I may have taken you too. But what did you want to say?
I was gonna answer like a problem she would face. Angry people, like her not customers, like. Well, okay.
Keep going.
Angry people who maybe not like the things she do. What else do you want me to?
How do we have less anger and more support for each other?
Love each other.
Something like that. Okay, but how do we have less anger and more support in our future? Very broad question, but it is a fact today. There's a lot of anger on social media, a lot of frustrated and annoyed people, a lot of anxiety and stress and tension, and it comes out in some people as rage. And you may be working for people that you don't like, that treat you badly, that aren't supporting you. So how can we develop less rage, more support? Very simple. Write that down for now, okay? Write down for now. It's very broad, but at least it's starting to get at this idea of something that you may not have noticed, and I will finish the thought. Humanity's destiny is not just about humanity as in humankind. Do you know what else humanity means? Think about it. Kiara, and then I'll let you go. What's another meaning for the word humanity? When we talk about humanity's destiny, are we talking about just the destiny of us, or are we talking about something else too?
The destiny of our entire species, and
Yes.
those that are in the species that are surrounding us.
You're on it, but yes. Isn't humanity a state of compassion? Don't we want more humanity in the world, not less? As in kindness, empathy, support? How do we ensure that we have that? How will you ensure in your field that when you face this kind of resistance, you will be able to find a way to face it without becoming angry and vindictive, but you will be able to develop the kindness so that you can receive the kindness in return. In other words, you want more humanity in your life, not less. The more humanity we all have, the more we can achieve. The less fear we have, the less rage we have, the less vindictiveness, the less violence we have, the more we can create, the less we can destroy. So we want more humanity. Is this starting to make sense? So the destiny then is, what is the destiny of humanity? Are we getting more angry? Are humans becoming more in conflict? Are we heading towards more war? Can we keep humanity growing in the future? Or is it something that is becoming less and less? That's the idea. Does that make sense? Great. I will stop by simply saying that in every class this semester, when we talk about humanity's destiny, whether it's space exploration, whether it's the future of religion and science, the next big thing, history's lessons, what's happening in neuroscience and the human brain, humanity will always be seen in those two ways. Humanity as in humankind, and humanity as in that state of being. Okay. Brooklyn wants to think, how can we create less stress and more support? And just put that as an arrow. Put an arrow and point it towards Brooklyn. Okay, so we know, take that, and there we go. Perfect. Great, Ethan. Okay, you can grab a seat. You've done your you've done your duty. Kiera, thank you very much. Okay, grab a seat, and you can leave that on the. And we're going to move on. Take a little break, and if you would like, stand a little bit because I'm going to put you into some groups now where you're going to meet each other a little bit more. But you can start to move around, and then I will direct you. But please feel free over the next minute or two to just stand up and do a little stretch and start to get ready to talk to people, okay? Great. Okay, good. Eldon and Yasmin, yeah, I'll come back to those questions in the live chat afterwards, but let's get ready for the next stage, and I want to just show you a little something too. I'm going to run a video, and I will put the link in the live chat. I'm going to put a link in for you in the live chat. Here it is. Eldon, Yasmin, and the others online. Would you please click on that video and watch it on your own right now? And I will explain in a moment what it is. And I will run it for everybody here. And go ahead, just mute yourself when you do that. And here we go. While you're doing a little stretch, I'm going to put this on. Again, you may have seen this. Hold on. Oops, here we go. This is a video of an event site that I want to tell you about momentarily. This is Osaka, Japan. And it's the site they are building now for Expo 2025. Yeah, sure. Okay. You can check the recording. Yeah. Yes, I do.
Sir, you're muted.
Microphone is back on. Yasmin, we're good?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. The reason I presented this video, and I'm going to talk more and more about 2025 with you, is because you may want to join me there in the presentation. I'm asking all of my students this semester, all 200 of them, and I will give you the option for your final assignment in this class, this semester, of imagining what could this presentation be at Expo 25 about the future of education and the global classroom. So I'll talk more about it later, okay? So, okay, let me count because I'm going to be putting you in front of each other momentarily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so 17. Well, I'll do it this way. Right now, you are number 1. What's your name? Andre? Nice to meet you. 2, Ethan. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Could you please all stand, all 8 of you, and come stand here shoulder to shoulder, looking that way, okay? Great. Kiara, do you want to, you okay? Come, yep, excellent, okay. 8, human beings, all ready for the future. More ready after this class. Now, the rest of you, please stand and take your position, one of you in front of her, one of you in front of Ethan, so it's 1-to-1 facing. So, could you stand here a second? Come here. You stand here in front of Kiara. You stand here in front of Ethan, and let's finish this. Could you please rise? And now, Sarah and Brooklyn, come over here. Sarah, Brooklyn, and the rest. Yes, fill it out. And we may need 2 people on, but let's see how it works. This is an odd number. Okay, good. So we'll do this. I'll move this. And what is your name? Kanisha. Hi, Kanisha. Okay, Kanisha, you said your name? Zach? You look a little familiar. Have I seen you in another class? No. What's that? Unlikely. Okay, so Zach, Kanisha, you say? Kanisha. Okay, and Zach. Okay, so it's the 2 of you with Zach. Okay. All right. So now here's what I want you to do. I would like you to have a conversation between each other for about 3 or 4 minutes about what you really want from this class. I'd like to add more things to that slide that we've started. And then I'm going to say switch. And then all of you should take 1 step to the left. That means that you will be talking to another person. So let's practice this for a moment, okay? So you're talking and talking, and I say switch. So just step to the left. You're moving as 1. So Zach and Kanisha, you come around, okay? You come to your left. That's right. Step to your left. You come around. That's right. You may have to go around. And now you're in and talking to a new person. It's called speed meeting and speed dating. But, you know, there's no dating going on here yet. I'll leave that for all of you. That's not what this class is about, but maybe something will be kindled, who knows, among you. So whenever I say switch, you're going to do that move. All right. So as soon as I say go, start talking to the person in front of you about what you want from this class. Let's get some good ideas going, and we'll do this for about 15 or 20 minutes. We're going to be moving a lot, and then we're going to take it up together. Okay? Make sense? You get it? On your mark, get set, go. Okay, and for online, I'm going to do something new here for all of you. And I'm going to come and get a little intimate again. Okay, so online, Yasmin, George, do you want to just communicate via the live chat for now? Because that way I will see you best. I'm going to put that beside the. So, Yasmin, you can hear me, correct?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. So let me just bring that over to. Hold on, because I'm going to help the online group right now, and to do that, I will go. I'm going to put over there the main computer. That way I can see. Great. Okay. So, um, Yasmin, could you please answer me in the live chat, because that will be the way right now to communicate with me. Okay. So, uh, great. Okay. Do you want to? I'll come for you in a moment. Okay. Just you can join the conversation here if you like. Okay. So this is something new, folks. I'm planning this semester, which is when we have an activity going in person, I can let them continue, and then I can engage with you online and get you set up for your own online activity. And I can see you right beside me in terms of the live chat. Okay, so what I'd like for you to do is first, let me think, because I want to check the live chat so far. It's right here next to me. Yasmin is our, so this is format, lesson, our humanity, because of the ability to interact with our machines while hiding. Good, Jasmine. Opposed to interface to face. Okay, you know what I'm going to do for the moment? I'm going to answer the questions in the live chat because they're good questions. And I know definitely. For those of you who are in this class for the first time with me, there are students from previous classes. I know, and Yasmin is one, and I'm blessed with having students like that who return. And often they have a lot of really good insights, and they have experience as well in how I teach. So I know Yasmin would come up with something like that. So let me just review Yasmin's question, and then I'm going to address it in more detail. So, does this format lessen our humanity because of the ability to interact through our machines while hiding in our homes, as opposed to interacting face to face with others in a physical setting? Okay, great. Yasmin, I would ask you, could you put, could you rewrite that and put it in the live chat so I understand what is it in one question that you would like to answer this semester in Humanity's Destiny? So I'd like you to think about what you've just said there, that I've just read, and I want you to rephrase it in one question that we're going to address. And you don't have to do it immediately, but I want you to think about it and then put that in the live chat, okay? So think about that. Eldon can remote students write on. I'm actually working on that with the college right now, how we might do something like that. In other words, how you could somehow be writing on something that we can all interact with together on the big board here, whether it would be the smart board. The what I'm actually almost able to do at this point is have you share your laptop or your phone with the video board here so that anything that you write on your device could be immediately seen by everybody here on the big video board. We're working on that. We'll see where that goes. Eldon, could you please think of, like Yasmin, a really big, clear question on what you want to answer this semester, what you're expecting to answer? Okay? Does that make sense, Eldon? Yeah, good. Yasmin's already working on that. Um, Javin, is it Javin? Can you? Okay, just a second. Good. Keep it moving. That's it. Good, everybody. Okay. I don't want to yell, so it's you get an earful, everybody online. So we have right now, there's Yasmin, there's George, there's Vanny. I hope I have this correctly pronounced. Is it Javin? Javin, Ansal, and Eldon. And I'm assuming you're all hearing me clearly, as Yasmin can. So Here's what I would like you to do. Good. The direction I gave Yasmin, and she's already on it, is the same that I'd like all of you to follow, which is please write a question in the live chat right now, or take your time if you need, a question that you want to answer, that you're expecting to answer, a really important question to you, and put it in the live chat. For those of you who, if you have any confusion about what I'm asking or the format, please feel free to ask Yasmin or George a question about this, because they know the format, they know my style, and they may be able to answer your questions too, okay? So I'll leave you to that for the moment. I'm going to bring the camera back to everybody, but I can still talk to you. I just can't talk to you. Okay, good. I'm interacting with the online group, okay? So I'm experimenting, okay? Switch, please. There, yes, switch. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Okay, good. All of you online right now should see in front of you the class interacting. And my hope is that you will be able to interact in some way together right now. But of course, you're not in person, so you can't. But we'll do it through the live chat. So, Vanny, just want to check. Are you there? Good. Okay. Do you know what I'm asking you to do? I'm here in the podium, okay? You see my hand. So, Vanny, do you understand what I've asked you to do? Okay. Please go ahead and phrase the question. What is your question? The question you want to answer this semester in Humanities Destiny. It's about our future. Yasmin asked a terrific question, and of course, it's going to be very central this semester. It has to be. Have we lost our core ability of being human? We can't answer that right now, of course. That's going to take a lot of exploration. But the conflict between the machine and the human is central to humanity's future. So for Yasmin to ask that question is very important at this point. Vanny, these are the kinds of questions I want you to think about right now. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm asking you to do? Okay, I'll leave it for that right now. Good, let's see what... Good, Javin. Is that the correct pronunciation? Javin? Yeah, okay. Javin, yeah, it is existential what we're living through. You know, the kinds of dilemmas that humanity is facing are forcing us now to think about our own existence and the existence of all life on this planet, too. So the idea of an existential crisis is a good way of phrasing things. And your question, what makes human life so valuable? Wow. Compared to, let's say, your dog, or let's say a whale, or a giraffe, or what makes human life so valuable? Good question. Eldon, does technology enhance or diminish our ability to connect? Good. Excellent. Okay, so keep the questions going. George, I don't see a question yet there, but work on it, okay? The one overall question for Yasmin, from Yasmin, yeah. Have we lost our core ability of being human? But it's interesting, Yasmin, because then Javin asks what makes human life so valuable, or which also suggests the question of what is human? What does it mean to be human compared to other things on this planet? That's also important because we're now creating artificial kinds of life. Oh, technology and humanity, the machine and the human. These are central to our future. George, I'm not seeing a question yet. Ansel? Ansel? Is it Ansel? Not seeing a question. Have you disappeared? Planet George. Is there life on Planet George?
Hello.
Okay. George, in the live chat. Good, George. Stay in the live chat with me now, okay? Good. Good, George. Let me read this. On the current route we are on in terms of our well being and economy, is there any way back to what it used to be? Wow. George, there's a word called irreversible. And yesterday, for example, when we began to learn that global warming has been increasing at even higher rates than we thought, 2023 was the hottest year on record in 1,000 years. The temperature globally increased 1.48% over pre industrial levels. We weren't supposed to reach that for another 6 years. The idea, George, is that we are talking about irreversible, that we are reaching thresholds now where the changes are causing irreversible change on the planet. But I think that if you can continue to come back with the question through the semester, George, of can we reverse this? Can we reverse this, Lon? Can we reverse? It will force us to think a little bit more deeply about this. But in general, George, the large existential questions today have built into them a sense of irreversibility. Is that making sense, George? Okay, good. Ansel? Excellent. Ansel, do you know what I'm asking everyone to do? I just want to make sure you understand because I don't see a question. So, where's your question? The big question you want answered this semester. Great. We're seeing more questions now. Thanks, Javine. Excellent. Keep the brains going. Okay, I'm just going to come back here for a second. Okay, so let's see. It is kind of dark, Javine, but one of the things that I'm going to help you to also look at this semester is this idea of optimism and pessimism and what your worldview is, because that can often dictate how you see our destiny. For example, if I asked you right now, when you look at the future, in general, Javine, just in very general, would you say you're a pessimist, an optimist, or somewhere in between? What would you say, Javine? Put it in the live chat, okay? Yeah, exactly. Definitely a pessimistic person. So therefore, probably anything that we look at this semester in terms of humanity's destiny, you will probably see through a darker lens, correct? Whether it's, you know, technology might be leading to our extinction as a species, or we're a cancer on the planet. Um, or there's going to be more war, and there's going to be more weapons of mass destruction, and humanity is the architect of its own demise. You're probably going to see things in that kind of more dystopian way, I would think. Yeah, maybe we need to help you to balance that with something more optimistic. What do you think? Because think about medical science, Javin. Think about how long we are living. Think about diseases being cured or illnesses being dealt with. Think about what we're learning around mental health today and our willingness to talk about it. These things are signs of progress, small, but nevertheless signs that give us hope, don't you think? So think, Javin, about this idea of pessimism and maybe start to open yourself, or at least think about the idea that there might be some good things happening too. Okay, great. Okay, we're going to take this up momentarily. So I've just told the students here to do their final conversation, and then they're going to return to their seats, and we're going to all take this up together. So we're going to take up Yasmin, Javin, and the online questions with also what the students are doing right here in front of me. Okay, I just need to replace some batteries. Hold on. Okay, we have a battery problem. All the batteries here are. Good. Okay. My I'm doing a little workaround here. My battery died on my microphone, so I'm going to go handheld. Let me just double check and see. Can you hear me okay? Can you just put in the live chat? Great. Yeah. You can hear me? Is it really? It's very muffled? Okay. Hold on a second. Okay, now how does it sound? Very loud. Just a second. I'm just doing a little switch on the fly. Down here, how does the microphone? A little loud sounds better, but further away. How about if I go really softly like this? Then it's okay? Nope. Okay, hold on. I want to make sure you can hear me. I'm doing maybe rest on the desk. Okay. What could somebody come in on your microphone, somebody, so we can do this and I understand further away, but turn down the volume on the actual. Okay, let me try this a little bit more. Okay. How is that? Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Great. Okay. It's workaround time. I always have something like this happen in a class or in a day in the global classroom. It used to be it would happen early and sometimes it would happen a lot. Tech breaks down and students have to watch me deal with that. It's not happening so much anymore, which is good. Tech is working. But you're now witnessing, just so you know, a situation where the tech is not working. The batteries in my microphone died. There are no spare batteries left. So I have to do this. Why am I telling you this? Because I want you to see how I deal with tech breakdowns. Why? It doesn't matter. I found another way. Think about how attached we become to our machines. And when the machines break, we panic. I think, Brooklyn, that's a small example of a loss of humanity. When we lose our ability to be humans because we're letting the machines dictate how we act. I don't want to be panicking and in stress and getting upset when my batteries are dead. Who cares? Who cares if your phone breaks down? Okay, so you can't talk to somebody for a while. Does that really matter, Brooklyn, in the end, in terms of your humanity, that you can't talk to somebody on your phone right now unless it's an emergency? That's what I mean about this idea of we want to hold on to our humanity all the time, in spite of sometimes our machines pulling us away and dictating how we should act. It's a weird world right now. People say a lot of things online, and they act on those things. They make threats to people, and we used to say, it's just somebody sounding off online. Now, people take guns, they take knives. What you say online can actually become real and violent in your own life. That's an example, Brooklyn, of how we're letting our machines, social media, dictate how we act with each other. That's not good. Does that make sense? Okay. So Ethan was brave and was helpful in being there. We need another person to do the final bit of taking up. And we've got some good questions, and I'm sure from all of you, but also online as well. So I would like, how about to really make this difficult? We had a new student who came in, and how would you like to do some writing? You ready? You look like you're ready to study, and you came in person and you just went right at it. Would you please go stand by the smartboard and I'll show you how this is going to work. If you feel like I'm, just squeezing you a little too hard and it's not nice that I'm putting you on the spot, just tell me, long go away. But now first, what's your name? Uriah. Okay, we will write that. Okay. And do you feel okay writing things? Okay, first he needs a pen. Okay, he needs a pen. Just a second. So how could he write without anything? And the pen went here. So let's help him, and then we're going to do some notes. First, could you spell your name up here? Okay. And if you need to erase it, just put your finger over it. Okay. Great. Good, we've got our notes going. Okay, Uriah, right? Thank you, Uriah. Uriah's notes. Okay, Uriah's going to help us take this up. How are we doing on the microphone? George, still perfect? Should I worry? Should I let tech dictate how this is going to go? I have to some extent. Just a little loud. Oh, well, then, I guess it'll just be a little loud. I'll try to keep it down here. So who is ready among all of you to shoot up a hand and say, I have something that I think needs to go on that board that came out of my conversations about a question or something that we need to really address this semester? Anyone ready to do that? Yeah, of course you are. I can see it written all over your face. You're ready. Well, it's afternoon. I'd give you an espresso if I could, but I've already had 4 or 5 today, so I got to watch it. What's your name?
Ethan.
Ethan?
Yeah.
Okay, Ethan. So Ethan, in the conversations you were having as you're moving around meeting people, what was one thing that came out that sticks with you about something you really want to learn this semester?
Oh, I can't remember which
It's
speaking to.
okay.
But they said that they're interested in seeing in how technology will affect humanity's future.
Well, this has come up already. This only confirms, which is good. This is great. Yasmin was talking about that in the online chat already, and I'm glad this is coming up again. But Uriah's on it. Go for it. So Uriah, keep writing, and we're going to work on the next one. So yeah, he's got it. Okay, so say it's Ethan, right? And if you could write just his name at the end of it when you're done, Uriah, because this came from Ethan. Is it A-T-H?
Yeah,
A-T-H-A-N. So Ethan, gentlemen, say hello to each other. Good. All right. You didn't think I was going to let you just sit here, did you? Yeah. Okay. Good. Are you ready? You feel ready? Do you want to wait? You wait. Okay, it's okay. Look, Kiara has been very good, so I don't want to put her too much. But too many names. No. Name again, please. Kanisha. Okay, Kanisha. So Kanisha, what should be from you in terms of one thing that came out of that as it's important that we address this semester. We need to learn about this. And it can come as a question, but it doesn't have to.
Since I'm in the nursing field, I'm doing the practical nursing program. How will it affect me when I'm working in the field? Like how the technology will advance later down the road? How would it affect care that people get?
I see a really big question here that's great is, how can technology be a force for good? This is a huge question. It comes out of the other questions to some extent, but we will be engaging so much with technology. And of course, in nursing, you have to really understand how to use all of that equipment in a way that's going to be positive and helpful and extend life and heal people. So all of this is important. How can we ensure that technology is a force for good? Javin, who has already established himself in the online or at least in the live chat, to some extent, as a bit of a pessimist, right, Javin? Do you think, Javin, that you're ready to open yourself to the idea that technology actually might be good for us? That we can actually advance ourselves, heal ourselves, make our lives better through technology? Javin, are you open to that? Okay, good, because earlier when we were talking in live chat, if I remember correctly, he's a bit of a pessimist. He doesn't have too much hope for us. Great. Okay, here we go. What's that?
Someone said nuclear war in the chat.
Nuclear. Good. Well, listen, we've got to be careful. We've got a war in the Holy Land going on right now. We've got a war between Russia and Ukraine, and just wait until India and Pakistan decide they don't like each other too much anymore. The Muslim and the Hindu. It's almost as bad as the Muslim and the Jew. And I'm Jewish, so I say this putting skin in the game. I hate nobody. I love humans. But boy, are there a lot of angry Jews, angry Muslims, angry Hindus, angry Buddhists, and there's a lot of conflict. And then you put weapons of mass destruction in their hands. Do you know that India and Pakistan, India is Hindu largely, Pakistan is Muslim, they both have nuclear weapons. And sometimes they fight, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Go ahead. Hello? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. I turn it off for you just to help, okay? Just give your name, okay?
Yeah, my name is Daniel.
Daniel?
To the point, kind of on the opposite of nuclear war.
Yes.
But I saw that in like technology, especially in like nursing or like high medical usage.
Yes.
Saw that they're making like you could like 3D print like hearts and like organs now. So that's like a big advancement. And I'd say it's like a benefit.
Sure. I'm not going to test anyone on their sources, but we will get to that later in the course to make sure that when you say something that sounds amazing, exactly. Just trust me. That's not good enough. Exactly. But Daniel, that's a good, yeah. Just trust me. It's definitely not good enough. But we'll assume right now, for the sake of just moving things along, that we are able to create a lot of artificial parts of our body and organs and many things that's testing our idea of what does it mean to be a human being. Imagine that you'll be living at a time, you're growing up at a time, and your children, grandchildren will have to deal with the fact of what do we do with these robots? What do we do with artificial intelligence? What exactly do humans bring to the table that machines don't? In other words, what's special about the human that machines can't deliver on? That's a big question. Or do we just want to keep creating artificial forms of life and human abilities without ever thinking about the fact that something is unique about us that machines will never be able to replicate? Or maybe machines can just be like us. These are big existential questions. And that came up in the live chat. Existential means our existence as human beings. We're just about out of time. So I'm going to start wrapping things up. I only wanted to touch on a few things today. Uriah, thank you for jumping in and starting this final bit of note-taking, but you are relieved of the smartboard. Please put the pen back up on the side. There's a magnet, a little bit of technology that's supposed to work. Yeah, a magnet. Exactly. Perfect. It works. Thank you, Uriah. I'm going to conclude by telling all of you online as well as here that we couldn't do everything today, but we did some things that I hope will tell you what to expect in this class. Every week there will be a different topic. Today was just an introduction and we were looking at expectations. But next week, we're going to start with the topic, how to think about the future in concrete ways. Then we're going to look at history's lessons in the next class. Then we're going to look at what you think might be the next big thing, the next big game-changing development in technology that could change our lives the way the smartphone has. We're going to look at the future of science and religion. We're going to get to space exploration. We're going to be spending a lot of time on Mars because humans are getting ready to go to Mars in pretty significant ways. And I'm going to be reading this book to make sure I have the up-to-date info for you. It's called A City on Mars. It just came out. Sounds great. So space exploration will be a big part of the class a little later as we move towards the final part of the semester, where we're going to look at this idea of legacy, what you hope your legacy will be as a human on this planet. We're going to look at the future of neuroscience and what we're learning about the human brain, because everything that happens in the future on planet Earth is going to happen as a result, essentially, of humans now. We change the world. No other animal has done that. And we change it, not through our hearts so much, but through our brains. So understanding what we're learning about the human brain, about memory, about the idea of consciousness, about life extension, all of these things we will get to each week with a different topic. Today was just a bit all over the place, but next week, how to think about the future in concrete ways, okay? So I'll see you next week, in person, online. Have a great week, okay, everybody? Thank you. Okay, everybody online, great, thank you. And for those watching the recording, you can always reach out to me via my email. I think there are 50-odd people in this class, so there's a lot of students watching the recordings later. Take care, everybody.